Welcome to Gail Scott-Key's Entertainment Now show. I'm your host, Gail Scott-Key, and my co-host, Jeff Sandin, brand new, is out on assignment, but I promise you he will be back for the next broadcast. However, I'm super excited. I know you've seen the post. I am elated to have back on my show Melba Moore, an acclaimed singer, actress, and Grammy-nominated artist. Melba's remarkable career spans Broadway, TV, and music, including her Tony Award-winning performance in Pearly and hits like This Is It. We'll be discussing her inspiring new memoir, This Is It, Marvelous and Getting Better, which beautifully chronicles her journey of resilience and stardom. Don't believe me? Look at the beautiful woman right there. Melba, thank you so much for joining me. It is an honor again to see your beautiful face. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Oh, I have to thank, of course, Angelo Ellerby and
Yeah,
Kevin Goings over at Double Exposure Media. They are my good friends and so
good.
blessed to have them set this up for us. Um, you have been an icon. You are an icon. I stand corrected. And you are still making legendary uh, moments in your life. We definitely want to get into your memoir. This Is It, Marvelous and Getting Better, which is available on Amazon, getting my hands on it. Let's just start from the beginning if we can. I mean, you've been breaking barriers since the start of your career. If we're to be honest, as the first Black woman to replace a white actress in feature role, to winning a Tony Award and earning Grammy nominations, your artistry continues to inspire generations. And it's led us now to this point of now your memoir.
Yeah.
It's talking about including perseverance, faith, family, and an impact. And speaking of family, am I understanding correct? They encouraged or influenced you on creating this memoir finally about This Is
Yes,
It. Is that correct?
yes. Yeah, actually, it was my daughter,
Oh,
but then she has, like, my ex-husband working on it with us too. So it's kind of reconstructing and reuniting the family. It's a family affair.
wow.
That's a miracle right there.
That is a miracle because I remember you were talking about that the last time you were on my show. Your daughter's played a big inspiration
Uh,
in as far as for all the details, correct?
yes, she really spearheaded this. She got Angelo to come aboard. I was working with Angelo as a publicist, but she really came aboard and directed him to the two of them to spearhead creating this memoir with me. So this is
Oh my.
this is really kind of their brainchild. They thought of it, and then they let me be a part of it too.
A little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, you have so much of an influence. And as I said, your career has truly inspired me. And I have grown up listening to your music and watching you. And now I want to talk about your upbringing, if we can, for a bit. Harlem in Newark. What shaped your love of music and performance if we're stepping back in time with you, Melba?
looking back now, I think it was in my DNA, and then coincidentally seeming circumstances or fate bringing things together so that I could get nurtured in it, and then determine that, oh yeah, I want to try that. I want to do that because my natural father, Teddy Hill, was the manager of Mitten's Playhouse, which is still there, which is kind of one of the spawning grounds for what was then called modern jazz. So it's in my DNA, and I guess he's a way opener too, just by nature of being a musician in that field and in that era. And my mother was a singer. They did not marry, so I didn't have that family relationship with my father. But she married a musician who was from Newark, New Jersey, which is why I blame Newark too. And he was a piano player, and they worked together as a musical unit. But then he had a daughter and a son, and later on we had two more brothers. And he made us all take piano lessons. So after they got married and I moved to Newark, New Jersey, I began to be a scholar of music. So, but it was the centerpiece of our lives because they rehearsed their band in our home. As I said, my dad made us all take piano lessons. So I became actually a student of music as a child. And then I fell in love with it because now it it was the centerpiece of our lives. In New York City, when I was with my mother, she was gone all the time. So even though she was a singer, there was no music in my life at all. I didn't even know I had a voice. And my grandmother, who would have been the matron of the family to tell me about my family roots, had a stroke, so she really couldn't speak or be that connecting force in a family. So if the family in that way was broken in that sense, and also in the musical sense, there was no nurturing of music at that time. So I feel like I'm a late bloomer, but everything's on time. So started to be a student and a scholar of music in Newark, New Jersey, and I fell in love with it. And I continued on to go to performing arts high school. Then I taught music in the public schools. And then I said to my parents, I want to see if I could be a performer like you guys. And Daddy said, no, you're going to get a real job. You're going to teach school. I did that.
They always,
And then went to my parents again to say, well, Daddy, would you take me to some of your agents and see if I can be a performer? If it doesn't work out, I'll come back and be a school teacher. And those were my beginnings.
oh my goodness. You know something? I apologize. You also just celebrated your birthday.
I did, yes.
Yes.
October
Well,
29th,
Melba, let
yes.
me tell you, you look gorgeous. I don't care what the birthday cake said on top of it, because girl, you look gorgeous.
Thank
What
you.
is your secret to the beauty and the youth that you keep presenting each year?
Well, I really do work on it. I could probably write a few books on that because it's about
All
taking care
right.
of your whole being. It's about if you're a singer, first of all, you find out very early there's a lot of things that you just cannot eat. But that gets to be the beginning. As a child, I was sick with asthma,
Mm,
pneumonia, bronchitis, every kind of respiratory ailment that you could have. Once I left home, and while yeah, because the lady who raised me, my nanny, was an orphan, illiterate domestic, which really was the template for me to do Ludi Bell Gussie Mae Jenkins. But also, we realized then, looking back anyway, that the food was poisoning us. It was all food related. Once I determined to go on my own and become a singer, and especially on latter years, I continued to find out more and more, especially from having really serious respiratory ailments, that I would go to the doctor. He would give me these sprays and these really, really harsh drugs, and they would help the symptoms, but he would know what to do to keep me from getting them. So I really began to do a real in-depth study on foods. And
yeah.
to make a long story short, I could write some books on that. That's the secret, because once you stop poisoning yourself
Yeah. Yeah.
and you realize you
Yeah.
have to exercise, and you realize that some of the skincare treatments that they have today are really excellent. So it's a combination of a holistic life, and things have improved so much in terms of what you can choose to do to keep yourself vital, have your energy, look good, and have the life that you want. It's more possible today. So I think that's what you see.
Well, I love it. And I certainly will buy that book when it comes out, because I want to look like you, because you are just amazing. And also in the book, you discuss the highs and lows of your career, Melba. Was there a moment when you thought of maybe giving up? And what helped you push through?
Well, there were several moments, and they happened at different times, and so I was brought out of it in different ways. But in every case, um, someone came to my rescue and gave me a job, or took me in, or yeah, essentially gave me work, because that's what you have to do in different circumstances. I remember one time I lost everything, lost my family, lost my marriage, and I was actually homeless. But during that time, I got an offer to do a play that toured for 2 years, and he paid me in cash. Only thing is, I didn't have a bank account or an address,
Oh no. Oh my goodness.
but I was surviving, and eventually I got everything back. I live on the Jersey side of the Hudson River now, so I have the whole skyline of New York City from the George Washington Bridge all the way down to Jersey City.
Oh my goodness.
And when I got that apartment, the gentleman who helped me had to kind of vouch for me that I would pay the rent, because I didn't have a bank account yet.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's those kinds of intercessions that people helped me. I prayed. I was a born again Christian, so I could hear from God to see what I could try, or not to give up and not to become too depressed because I had other people to think about, and all
Yeah.
those different things kind of brought me one step after the other to keep trying again and keep coming back again. So now it's a series of victories.
Yes, yes, blessed victories.
Yeah.
Wow. That is quite a view. So I can just imagine how breathtaking it was, and especially starting out. I mean, we're talking about Broadway, Grammy nominations, and hit singles. These all paint, a story of your success, Melba. But during the quiet times or setbacks, if you will, what taught you the most about yourself in those times?
Hmm. Um,
Threw a zinger in there, didn't I?
well, I'm trying to put it into words because I think when you say something like that, I think about uh, flashes of the moments of the devastation that each one of those things
Mm,
happened, and how did you come out of it? What and the two it's too long for me to tell you those things, but I think accumulating it wound up being that I really kind of found you got to trust God
yes.
individually, and as it piles up, you say, that's the one thing I did was consistent
Yeah.
that I think will keep me from falling into those disasters again.
Mm, that's true. It's true. You have to have the foundation of faith, especially going through, I'm sure, the career, the disappointments, the excitements. You go through the whole gamut. I couldn't even imagine what that's like, especially when you're going to, the different calls of if you get the part or not. How do you navigate that
Well,
as
first of all,
well?
I didn't know how to audition, and I started to try because we had a management company and people that were sending me up for auditions, but I never got anything for auditions, nothing. So I stopped
Oh,
auditioning, and I said, "Well, what am I going to do?" So you go in prayer,
yep.
and he said, "Well, like, one of the things that I feel is most dominant in my faith life right now is I feel like God says." If and I read the scriptures and go to church services every day because I'm Catholic, so it's there to do.
Uh-huh.
And one of the times this week he said, the scripture said, if you will obey me, I will dwell with you. I will live with
Mm,
you. I
yeah.
will live inside of you. I'll move in with you.
Yes.
So he
Yes.
says, now what you have to do is you have to take times in the day, now that you know that this is me talking, and
Yep.
you have to shut everything else out so you can learn to hear me.
Wow.
And then
Wow.
when his presence comes and you kind of detect, oh, yeah, that's it, and you quiet yourself, you're already in a certain kind of reverence you can only have if you're in the presence of God. So you start to
Mm,
learn to recognize his presence, and not only to do
yeah.
that, but be quiet. If anybody's around, be sure you respect him, respect them because they're his, and that's why you're here is to serve other people, and all those things that kind of feed into. They make you look better too,
Absolutely.
His
Absolutely.
presence really.
I love it because, you remind me, I had a brief conversation with Angelo and he was talking about the same. We're all faith-based. And you can't do anything without his guidance.
Yeah.
And, with that, how did you navigate an entertainment industry that sometimes, let's face it, they may have struggled to appreciate a voice as powerful as yours, Melba? How did you navigate that journey?
Oh, you know what? I don't remember that being a problem. I'll give you an
Yeah.
example. My difficulty was that I didn't quite know, like for instance, I don't know how to audition. That's how you go about getting things. So now how do you get work if you don't know
Yes.
how to do an audition? But the situations that happened for me was that if I ever got a chance to sing for somebody, I got the
Mhm.
gig.
There you go.
I remember in Pearly, Philip Rose was the director and the producer. And he also produced Raisin in the Sun. And he was away
Ah,
over
yes.
for Black productions and Black people on Broadway. But for
Yeah.
some odd reason, he didn't hear me sing when I auditioned.
Oh my goodness.
So he didn't know I had these high octaves and these long notes and this, that, and the other. But the lady who was the music conductor had also been the music conductor for Hair. And she said to Philip, "You really need to hear this kid sing." He said, I don't care. She got a good Southern accent. So, so during previews, I had one solo to sing and a duet with the character Aunt Missy in the second half of the show. It was beautiful, but the solo was the title song of the show, Pearly. But it kept stopping the show. There was be like standing ovations and screaming, and they wouldn't let it come. They wouldn't let it go, and we just so um, they realized this was not an accident,
Yeah.
and
Right.
they kept getting requests for them to give me a second song. Anyway,
Wow.
that's how I got Love got created. It was created especially for me because the other song kept stopping the show, and they put that in the second act. So I had a song in the first act and the song in the second act. But I Got Love was really written for me so I could hit those long notes. And of course, it
Mhm.
kept getting encores and encores and
Yeah.
encores. So those are the things that happened for me if I was singing for something. And I consider each job my audition because I don't know how to audition.
Wow. Melba, for the young, especially the younger generation, going on YouTube and creating music there, the biggest thing that I always hear from legendary artists like yourself, it is be true to yourself. I mean, in your book, I love it mentions meditation, self-reflection, of course, the spiritual side of it, which is so deep. And the biggest thing that I didn't have a chance to ask you before because when it hit, the pandemic came, right?
Right,
And it turned us all topsy-turvy. So
right,
everybody was going to YouTube rather.
right.
What were the spiritual practices and the practices for music, even though, like you said, you weren't auditioning, but how did you keep yourself relevant during that time when
But once
everything was
again,
shutting
I didn't keep myself relevant.
down?
D Nice did. That's my point in my book.
Yes,
There was
yes,
always someone there to do something that you really didn't have anything to do with it. You were true to yourself and doing what you could do. And somebody who did something in another area
yeah,
that shifted you and kept you in the people's light was there. I couldn't even go to church because it was closed. You couldn't go.
yes,
But I watched
yes,
it on TV every day.
yep.
And I sang every day.
Oh, my goodness. What a voice. I could just imagine in a church and hearing you sing. It's like angels right there. So I could just imagine everybody will stop singing just to hear Melba. Like, whoop, nobody else sings.
No, no.
You have a wonderful voice.
Thank
What
you.
what role did you love when it comes to laughter in your inner circle playing during challenging seasons in your life? What was the best way, when we talk about legacy and influence, who influenced you?
Oh, well, I've been influenced by incredible singers. You listen to them and you sing their songs. And there's a song now, is it is it from it's from the Wizard of Oz, Somewhere Over the
Oh,
Rainbow.
yes.
I have a version of that I don't sing because you're going to think of the Wizard of Oz or you're going to think of Patti LaBelle. So I don't
Okay.
want to, but I use that song because I got this incredible arrangement to do my own vocal technique lessons on.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
But what was your question? I'm going off on my own train of
Oh,
thought
no,
here.
no, you're hitting it right there. Who would influence you,
Oh, the influence.
especially
Oh,
through, yeah.
now one of the things that comes to my mind is that I was able to spend a lot of time on kind of a church circuit because of a young man by the name of Curtis Farrow with Sissy Houston.
Yeah.
And of
Okay.
course, people like that, they don't go in the pulpit, but they're preachers
Yes. Yes.
and they are mentors.
Yes.
She taught Whitney everything she knows how to do.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I spent a
Yep.
lot of time with her riding around in different performances that we would do together, and she would always talk to me. And then, of
Mm.
course, I would hear her sing, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
Not that I wanted to sing any of her songs or sing like her,
Right.
but I
Right.
think it was good to be with somebody like that who was a performer like you, So you could look at them in this peculiar way. I mean, of course, really as a fan, but
Yes.
but also
Yeah.
as a colleague, a friend, and a mentor.
Yes.
Someone who
That makes
actually
sense.
talked to you and been through uh, um, really, really difficult circumstances where she could give you her advice. And she was used to mentoring. That's what she did. She was a mother of performers because Whitney wasn't the only one in the family. Of course, Dionne Warwick
Right.
in that
Dionne
family,
Warwick. Yep.
and a whole family of preachers and performers. So
Yes.
she was a great, 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 great mentor. And of course, when all of the tragedies happened, my heart broke
Yeah.
and it's still broken.
Yes. Yes. That voice, it just, I actually had the honor of interviewing Dionne Warwick and her son several years back. And I remember I was so nervous because of the fact, like you said, I can just imagine I'm watching all of you and I'm like, my breath is just taken away. So I can just imagine, spending time with legendary artists like that. One thing that I really love and appreciate about your book, Melba, and this is so clever. Your book is named after every one of your hits. How do those songs connect with the key chapters in your life story to this day?
Well, that was my daughter, my
Ah,
co-writer, Kevin Taylor. It was their job
yeah.
to connect the thoughts, but I gave them
Uh-huh.
all the autobiographical information. Of course, they had the songs and the circumstances around which I recorded them, but they put it in all the kinds of order so that it had that kind of themology, I guess.
Yeah.
Order, some
I
kind of
love,
order.
yes,
They
yes.
did that. And they put it in
Oh my,
clever ways that you say things that, a professional book writer could do that. I can tell you the
I love
story, but
that.
they put it in the lingo and everything.
Oh my God. Your daughter's a genius. She's a genius. I
Yeah.
love that.
I'm so
What
glad
a
you
sweet,
said that because if I said it, it's just a mother who loves her daughter. But I think she really is. So
you
I'm
can play it back
discovering
and let her know.
that. I'll tell her I'm discovering this. I said, my goodness, I didn't know. I would never know if I didn't work with her, this side of her.
What a
And this is
blessing.
our
What a
first
blessing.
our first project, yeah,
Oh
together.
my goodness. Well, you know something, I know we're coming up for time. It always goes by so fast, but I want to make sure I get these key last questions in for you.
Okay.
This is it. Marvelous and Getting Better. It is available on Amazon Books. What message, Melba, do you hope fans of all generations take away from both your music and your memoir?
Well, first of all, music is the universal language.
Come on.
It
Come
connects
on.
people. It's very important, much more than whether you have a hit record or you even like music. You need music. It's a gift from
Yes.
heaven.
Yes. Yes. And you are that angel that brings it to us.
Well,
You are definitely
one
the
of
angel.
them. I'm glad to be among the number. Yes. People who bring
Yes,
you good
yes.
music and people who bring you music that inspires you and encourages you and lifts you up, especially when you're down. That's an angel from heaven.
You've inspired and you keep inspiring generations. You will continue to. For the listeners, for the ones who want to be the next Melba Moore,
Yeah, yeah.
what's the advice that you would give to them?
Well, if you want to be a singer, go to the gym,
Ah, okay.
dance because you have to breathe.
Ah,
The
okay.
breathing is really the secret.
Okay.
Eat well, don't eat a lot of junk because it not only will affect your voice, you probably lose it or impair it early, but it shortens your lifespan and your ability to be healthy.
Yeah.
If things are difficult, pray.
Yes.
And when they go well, pray because you'll forget and
Yep.
fall back into whatever you were doing wrong.
Yes.
And try to enjoy it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And you obviously have embraced all aspects of your life throughout your life, all those journeys. What's next on your creative horizon? How do you continue to
Creative.
get better?
Um, I try to listen to the Lord, see, give him time and everything, because what he does, then he'll bring you projects or bring people into your life. Like for instance, I have a new dance hit. It's just out, so it's going to be a bigger hit, I hope, called No Filter.
Yeah.
And George and Angela Pettis wrote this song for me. And the lyrics based on our spending time together and then saying, this is what I'm kind of like feisty about. You ain't got to impress nobody else. You the biggest competition you got is yourself.
That's right.
You know you got better, so give me your best. So I'm preaching out like this, and then go dance, please. It's called No Filter.
I love it. I love it. Well, for fans and new readers, they can find Melba Moore's This Is It, Marvelous and Getting Better, and be inspired by Melba Moore's remarkable story. As I said, it's now available on Amazon Books. And Melba, as we do wrap up our discussion, you are such a legend. As I said, I'm honored. This is the second time I've had the honor of having you on my show. And I love it because you bring the wisdom, you bring the knowledge, but most of all, you bring the faith and you bring that twinkle of just letting us know, you know
I like
something,
people.
you're never too young, you're never too old. Go after
Yeah.
those dreams because they mean everything. So I want to thank you for taking
I
this
want to
half
remind
hour.
the people to do what you said. Keep your twinkle.
Yes, yes, yes. You
You
and
said it.
Angela, oh my goodness. You and Angela always bring me so much joy, and
Great.
especially Kevin Going. I want to thank them again from the bottom of my heart for having you on. And again, thank you for your inspiring, legendary performances, how you still inspire all the generations, Melba Moore. It is an honor always, and I hope to have you back again. It is a blessing to see you again. Can't wait to get my hands on again, as all of you need to know. This is it, Marvelous and Getting Better.